so welcome back. This has been in the fridge overnight, so it's a little bit chilled and cool. We're gonna roll it into our, I don't know what you call them,
long ropes.
Long ropes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then once they're like that, we're gonna lay them on the cookie sheet and freeze them. My mom always freezes them so that when you chop them up into little peppernuts later, they don't get squashed. They stay a nice shape. So you're just gonna take a chunk of the dough and just roll it. Do the instructions say what the diameter should be? I never know. About like this. And then you're just gonna lay it on here. So you try to make it as uniform as you can, so that when they're baking, and I don't know, I'm just kind of taking off chunks and making the roll.
So maybe like about a half a cup of dough at a time and rolling it out into maybe 1.5 foot.
1.5.
Yeah, 1 foot, 1.5 foot section.
So yeah, okay, just looks like little wormies.
So continue until all the dough is sectioned out, freeze it, and we'll meet you back.
All right, so we are back. These they were frozen. They're not really frozen anymore because they sat out for a few minutes, but they're a little bit stiffer just so that when you're cutting it, it doesn't squish as much. So we're gonna chop these up and then we're gonna lay them onto the pan and bake them. When you're chopping, you can use, well, you don't have these at home, but Mrs. Minch has these and they're special. But these work, or you can use a knife and you're just wanting to cut them into tiny little circles, and then you're just placing them nice and close together on the pan. You're trying to get them as uniform as you can, but it's not always going to be perfect. So if you end up with one that's a little bit like thicker than the others, all that means is that that one's not going to be as cooked as the rest. Or if you end up with one that's a little bit skinny, that one's just going to be a little bit crispier. So like in my household, my mom likes them burnt to a crisp. That's how she enjoys them. So we always leave the burnt ones for her. And if you want them to all be similar, you're just really trying to get them the same size. It's not always gonna happen though, because there's a lot of these to cut. Also, we would suggest halving the recipe, which I think it says on your assignment, because this is a lot on a pan at a time.
And Mrs. Stevens, I think we're going to end up with about 4 cookie sheets full.
There's 2
from this one recipe that we halved. So you might even want to quarter the recipe if need be. So we'll come back and show you what they look like when they're finished.
Okay, so these are them coming out of the oven. We obviously put them a little too close together because they squashed together and made one kind of mega pan of peppernut cookie mash, but they break apart really easily. If you just dump them out, they'll break into their little pieces pretty good, but try to give them a little bit of room on the pan, and there they are.
Good. They're excellent. Enjoy.